I really hate not having an outro or intro, I mean, and an outro. Anyone out there? Coro, welcome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope the cats are treating you gently. Well, right now, one is smelling my finger. Was. We'll get started in a minute. Wait for some people to get here. Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. You're very sweet. I am looking forward to tomorrow night. Kill some things. Work has been busy. Where are you working at now? Are you, I think you were with the township or the park or something like that? Well, I appreciate it. 21 years old. To be 21 again. I remember that day, believe it or not. Let's see, working on some Clash stuff. Richard, welcome in, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Parks and Rec. Yep, see, I remembered. All right, there's Linky and Diane. Welcome and thank you. Appreciate it. And is that, I'm assuming this is the notification. Come on, computer. All right, that is the notification. So, I figured I'd do a pop up. You know, the last few weeks I've been so busy with work and life that I hadn't been able to stream too much. However, I'm on a sort of kind of 4-day weekend. I work the part time job tomorrow morning for a few hours. Shouldn't be too hard though. And in addition to that, I have definitely been busy with the Clash this weekend, but I don't mind it. It's all good. Um, I did get four work calls yesterday, maybe three and a text. A wake up text at 7 a.m. Three phone calls, 2 or 3 phone calls during the day from the contractor I have there for the alarm project. And then the building engineer set off the fire alarm at 11:30 last night. At least we know it works. Arborist license. That's fancy. I'm not too big into arborist. I believe that's mostly trees. I do like horticulture. That is something I looked into getting back in the day. Back in the day when I was younger, not 40, you know. Um. So yeah, did have some work interruptions yesterday. We'll call it, and very busy with the Clash, but not having to go to the full time job is very nice. Having a little bit of a break there. I what else? Just lost my train of thought. Let's see, what is this notification? Anything good? Gonna go with that. All right. And that. And all right. So in addition to birthday celebrations, I always, not always, I usually try to take off for my birthday, depending on what day of the week it falls on and stuff like that, and what's going on with life. So today was a PTO day, and in addition to that, Aquashella is in New Jersey, an hour and 30 to an hour and 45 minutes away. And I was like, well, it's usually not in New Jersey. It's usually not on the East Coast, or Northeast, I should say. I'm usually not off for it or have the ability to take off for it. And I figured it's my birthday. I'm off. It's close by. Let's see what all the hype is about. Of course, that's a cute joke to call me an inspiration in front of Scotty, who literally inspired more aquarium conventions across the country. Put that on your resume. I wouldn't say inspired more aquarium conventions. Only one. I only keep one going, that King and Queen Cichlid started. Linda Worth, welcome. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I did the drive today. So it started, part of the inspiration was having a shrimp show so close. I was comfortable shipping to it, and I did send 3 shrimp, 3 groups, 3 bags of shrimp, because each entry is 3 to 5. Welcome in, Devil. And with that, you get a free early bird ticket. I guess that's what it's called. So right off the bat, it was a little confusing with the different levels of entry, the different ticket options, stuff like that. And also what times everybody got in. So there's a VIP, there's an early bird, there's a regular, there's a little bit of everything, and there might be a couple more as well. So that was a little confusing, and it just was not very clear as to what time you could get in with those. Gina, welcome in. Good to see you. Stephen, welcome in. All right. Numbers are climbing. That's awesome. Thank you. So yeah, I got the early bird, and apparently that got me in at 11 o'clock, is what I ultimately found out, which worked out good. I got there at 10:45, and I was like, okay, if I'm beating the regular registration, which I think was at 1 o'clock, was their time entry. I'm beating their time entry, and I get there 15 minutes early. It shouldn't be that bad. I would imagine that I'd be able to go right in or not have to wait very much. Coro. Well, boy, was I wrong. Hi, Jenna. So let me look at some timestamps here, and let's see here. I got there at 10:42. And the line was, oh no, my signal's bad. What the heck? I mean, there's storms coming, but it hasn't started yet. It says I have no signal. Can you hear me? Can you see me? There we go. It's better. Okay. So I got there at 10:42, and the line was around 2 corners of the building. That's how long it was. Welcome in, Adam. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And I mean, it wasn't like I don't even know how many sides the building has. It's more than 4, but you get the point. Oh, it's Adam's birthday as well. Oh, happy birthday to you too, Adam. There's quite a few people with birthdays today, actually. I'm learning. So it was a long ass line. That's all there is to it. And they opened the doors at 11, and I got in the door at 11:18. That was a bit ridiculous. I think if you're going to have stagger time openings, the point of it is so that you don't have a long line, I would think. Just my opinion. And the fact that it still took 18 minutes after the door was open to get in there was a bit much. Furthermore, when I left, the line was even further than where I was. And that was hours later. So it appears the line never got better. In fact, it probably got worse. So, and there was only one door, and there was only one person that was taking, that was like checking in the early birds. One person was checking you in. It was John Oliver, actually. He was walking around checking people in, and then there was 1 or 2 people that were handing out the bags. And I don't even know what all was in the bag, but it did not seem like very much. I can assure you of that. And that it wasn't that busy when I first walked in. I mean, it was a big place. It was a big place. And they weren't tracking how many people were in the building either. Nobody had a clicker or anything like that. And nobody was leaving when we were all coming in either, because we were first ones there. The goodie bag, if it was a $5 value, I would be shocked. I'll confirm that when I totally forgot to finish looking through it. They did not have much of anything in there at all. In fact, I don't even know that the bag actually had any goodies in it. It more seemed like literature and stuff like that. So, got in the door, and it was a bit much right off the bat. There was really no direction on which way to go, where to go first or anything like that. There was not a good flow. It was kind of like, oh, you can go this way, you can go this way, you can go this way. Who knows where you go next? And the layout was so funky that it was easy to miss stuff. It took me forever to find Jesse from Just One More Fish. Like, I was trying to find him and trying to figure out what area did I miss that I missed him, and then I finally found him at the end. So yeah, thank you, Mary. Welcome in. Mary, what were your thoughts on it? on the Aquashella. Mary was there today. And correct me if anything that I'm saying is wrong. What ticket did you have, and what time did you get there, and how long did it take you to get it? So the flow was very weird. I'm not really sure that there was a flow. I think it was a free-for-all. I also did not download the map. So maybe the map had a direction that you should have gone in. That is possible. Steven says, I didn't think goodie bags were a selling point. Very different style of event versus club run events. That was extremely obvious as well. Very obvious. Yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't necessarily say, like, I don't want you to take it as I'm talking bad about the event. I'm just further demonstrating how it is a unique event, and the Keystone Clash is a unique event that on totally opposite spectrums. That is for sure. So the layout was weird, no flow. I only saw one set of bathrooms, and they were not that big. And I never did see where the food was, which kind of sucked. I know they had it, I just don't know where it was. Now, the location was very convenient to the highway. However, it was kind of in an industrial park. And it was strange. The expo center that it was in had another event going on next to it. Did not seem very busy in there, though. I will say that Aquashella should have gotten the entire place. It would have been so much better if they had the other half as well. What would you say the percentage was of freshwater versus salt? It surprisingly was probably 70-30, I would say. Probably 70-30. I think would be a good number to give it. Mary, would you agree? If Mary's still here. So there was definitely not enough parking. And I honestly don't know that you can blame there being another event on it, because most of it was for Aquashella. There was very few vehicles there for the other event. Welcome in, Jody, and thank you so much. Mary says, too crowded. I got there early and was one of the first in line. Okay. So I was in the early bird at 11. By the end, I could not see what was on the tables, so because of the crowds, agreed the flow did not work. Sounds right for my percentage. Yeah. A couple of fish, welcome in. So parking was definitely a huge issue. People were jumping the curb to park in random grassy areas. All the parking lots were 100% full. Even the neighboring businesses' parking lots were full, and people were making their own parking spots on streets that are around the area. I'm sure the neighbors were not happy. There was entirely, thank you, appreciate that. There were definitely more vehicles there than what their parking situation could handle. I would say probably triple the amount of cars, at least, than what it could handle. The expo center itself, though, was a good building for the event. If they had the other building, the other half as well, that would have really helped a lot. The decorations were nice. It was cool. It was cool. Definitely not as good as the past pictures I've seen, but I think that's just a thing of the past with whatever company used to run it versus who runs it now. So decorations were nice. The pipe and drape, the tablecloths, all the skirts, all of that, very nice touches. I absolutely like that for sure. The building itself was good for it, but it was not big enough. And I don't want to say that they oversold because there weren't that many vendors. You had a decent amount of saltwater vendors in their little section that was just the right amount for a saltwater event, in my opinion. You get too many selling, face it, saltwater vendors are going to sell the same exact stuff. You might have one or two commercial brands there selling their products or showing them off, but 90% of everything else is going to be coral frags. That's what it all was. You had a few vendors selling fish. You had one or two vendors selling dry equipment. Everybody else was selling coral frags. Now, with that said, they had awesome displays. The lighting was awesome. It was pretty freaking cool. I really liked it. However, other than that, there was a decent amount of vendors, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't overdone, in my opinion. It was probably just the right amount. But the room itself was not big enough to handle all of it. Sideshow, welcome in. Good to see you. I would say there were not many vendors selling fish. There were not, for such a big event, I expected to see a lot more fish. There was a lot selling dry goods. A bit much. And I would have rather seen more fish vendors. With that said, and I think it further proves my point, the fish vendors that were there were kicking ass. They were packed to the point that it was too many. It was difficult just to see what the vendors had fish-wise because there were so many freaking people. Which is good for the vendors. So Small World Aquatics, Scott and Jen, who are in my streams often, they're there. And I couldn't even see what they had. There were so many people at their booth. It was packed. Ryan, Wild Fish Tanks, he was there. I got to say hi to him, shake his hand. He was packed. He was loaded. Jesse just won more fish. He was not as busy because of his location, I think. But he still had a full lineup. Like, he wasn't slow by any means. Who else? And there were others. Grant and Shelby, they had, like, Tim tried to walk around with me a tiny bit, and he had to get back because he had to go help at the booth. Grant and Shelby were doing aquascaping and shrimp stuff. So it was Layla, Jaden, one of Tim's sisters, and Tim work in the booth, I believe. So it was very busy for them, and all the cuboid had a full row of people. Everybody that was selling fish was packed, but I don't think there was enough. I also, I really don't think that the dry goods vendors were as busy. The other thing is there was a lot of vendors that were not selling stuff; they were just showing off their stuff. So it was good to mix it up, I think. The other issue, you had just the right amount of vendors in the place, but not enough room for all the people. It was so freaking packed in there. It was not comfortable. It was overstimulating. It was not comfortable. It was you couldn't even get around. So I think if they had the other room, it would have been perfect. You could have spaced it out a little bit more. They get the numbers of people. The number of people in that building when I was there alone is probably more than the Keystone Clash does the entire weekend. Easy. Easy. So it's a successful event. It just was not the right setup for it. I think everybody there, I can't even say that. Standing in line, listening, because I walked around mostly by myself. Walking around, I was listening, talking to vendors, talking to people, listening to people as I was leaving. The people did not like how packed it was. There was not enough room for the volumes. Now, maybe Aquashella will see this and continue to come to the East Coast and maybe get a better venue. I'm going to assume, based on the amount of people, that it was successful for them. And they'll see that. I did not like how the different competitions were so spread out throughout the building, just like mixed in with vendors. That was a bit weird. Very random, for sure. But it was cool. It was cool seeing the different competitions they had. So I left, I think at 1:30. Let me see. Yeah, it was probably about 1:30 that I left. So I was in there for 2 hours tops. I can't say I enjoyed it enough to stay and deal with the number of people. Like, it was hard just to move around. It was just so freaking packed. Again, good for business, but you got to really balance that business versus comfort and how you're operating. They needed more people, that's for sure. They did not have enough people working the event. They they needed a bigger facility and more people and a bigger parking lot. But it was good to experience it. I'm glad I went. I don't know that I will ever go again. The vendors that had stuff that I wanted, I see all the time, or I know how to get a hold of them, and they ship. The Yeah, I mean, in between swaps, different clubs, and the Clash, I I really didn't see much of an advantage to go. I'm glad I did. I got to see people. I mean, I got to see tons of people that I know. There's people saying hi to me. I don't even know who they were, but they knew my name. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the usual vendors were there. Veronica Garcia was there. Jen and Scott, Jesse, Carrie was there. Lefty was there. Father Fish was there. Ryan was there. Harley PNW Aqua was there. Grant and Shelby, Tim, Q Boyd was there. Plenty of people. That was really nice. But I get to see most of them other times, and not just the Clash, So it was interesting. I'll say that. And the fact that I got a registration with my shrimp entry made it cost effective as well. All right, let me catch up and chat. Jody, I didn't even get to see Ryan's shirts. Couldn't even get close. I couldn't even get into Jen and Scott's vendor space to look at what fish he had. They are not going to have any stock left to bring to the Clash. Scott and Jen were running out and talking about going home to get more fish. That's how much they were selling out. I don't know if that's for all vendors, but yeah. Ooh, excuse me. It won't be seen as a problem for them. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're probably right. Aquashella in Chicago, I assume it's just easier to travel to then. Yeah, no Chicago this year. Rachel, welcome in. Mary saying ditto to something. I don't know what. Getting volunteers is hard. Well, don't we know that? And I wonder if they were solely using paid staff. Probably. I mean, I think they get paid in some capacity. At the entrance, there was John Oliver and two women. There was probably two more women walking around inside. Two women at their merch table. Probably two other people somewhere at like different stands they had. And that's it. I really did not see a lot of staff. Welcome in, Keith. Glad I didn't go. That traffic near the city is terrible. Keith, there was no traffic. This was in a very secluded spot. You got off of the highway and you turned into like an industrial area and you were there. It was very, very easy to get to. The problem was it could not handle the parking. There was too many cars that they did not have nearly enough parking for a number of attendees. Name all the people you saw. I know I'm missing. Yeah, I know I'm missing people. We said hi to Rachel. Yeah. What else? So what did I buy? I bought grindle worms and white worms from Small World Aquatics. I picked up an order that I pre-purchased from Grant and Shelby. And that's it. I couldn't, like, there was stuff I wanted to get. I could not get to the vendors to look at what they had to see if they had it, or they were so busy I couldn't even ask them if they had stuff. There was too many people. I would have liked to look at the shirts that Ryan had. He has some native fish usually. I would have liked to seen them. I couldn't get close. I just couldn't get close. The saltwater area was not as busy, but I'm not in a spot right now to buy anything saltwater because I want to break down that 55 and set up the fluval. There were some people that I chatted with, and I did some networking for the Clash and stuff like that, working on vendors and sponsors. Brandon, welcome in. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So yeah, like that was a win. Q-Boy brought a donation. Callie put it in her car, so I was able to get that from her, and I'll take it to storage tomorrow. Yeah, let's see. I took some notes. I think I probably covered everything. So the entry line sucked. The entry process was very inefficient. It looked like I did have good Wi-Fi the entire time, which I think is a good point. However, I did hear 2 vendors complaining about. Yeah, and everything else I already talked about. If they have another event and it's a little closer, I'd probably go again. Like if they did one in Philly, or maybe if it's the same location but they have both parts of the building, I'd go back. But yeah, I was not overly impressed. But again, good for the vendors. Now, I'm very curious to find out how many of the vendors say it was worth the money. Because I also know that their vendor spaces are expensive. I heard Aquatic Experience was a good show, Keith. So yeah. In the mail today, I did get the rest of the killifish eggs that I ordered. So probably in about 2 weeks, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different killie eggs to hatch out. So that's good. I noticed yesterday and today I have multiple Fundulopanchex gardneri inadir killies babies in the tank, which is awesome. Those parents are from Clay Crawford, who passed away a year ago. Keith, I do believe where Shella was, there was a hotel nearby. Definitely not like attached or anything like that. What else? From Grant and Shelby, I got Oopie Poopies. I got Pure Black Line, Pure Red Line, and Blue Bolts. Mostly, I got a decent amount of, or I shouldn't say decent amount. I got the most of the Pure Red Lines because I did lose that strain, and a mixture of overselling and then losing them with the heat. And then I did get a couple of Pure Black Lines just to add fresh genetics. Same for Blue Bolts, and same for the Oopie Poopies. Did water changes on all of those tanks and a couple others as well. VIP entry was at 10. Early bird was 11. General was at 1. Yeah. Bug. Nope, I missed it. So yeah, things are looking good there. Anytime I do water changes on these tanks that need the special parameters, I'm always a nervous wreck. But as of today, I did them yesterday and this morning, and everything seems to be alive. So I'm starting a second tank of Blue Bolts, just to be safe. And yeah, things are looking good there. All right. Do I have anything else to talk about? That might be it. I've been jibber jabbering for 43 minutes. Here's something. The Clash vendor room is almost sold out. Let me pull that up. Jenna, this is not up to date, right? We're missing the most recent. Yeah, I don't see the most recent. So I'm going to say we have approximately. This bug is driving me crazy. Cats, you're supposed to get these bugs. I mean, it's only one, but still. I'm going to say we have 3 vendor spots left and 1 hobbyist space left. We could probably fit a couple more in, but that's it. I mean, I know for a fact we easily have 3 more left. 3 more 10x10s, 1 6x6. And we could squeeze things, we could squeeze a couple more in. However, I am perfectly fine not doing that because, to the point today, I want people to have room to walk. Did you meet this Aquashella man? No. I did not see anyone that looked of authority. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple spots. I guess we could probably fit 2 6x6s. And I know we definitely have the 3 10x10s left. I don't know that I would. How many spots is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. Actually, I really don't think. Yeah, we have 3 10x10s left. I really don't think we could fit any more than that in there. Yeah, Thunder. I believe it would be George, who is over Aquashella, tall young guy, Coral Fish 12G. I don't know what that means. I did not see anyone that met that description. Yeah. Rachel says, I was trying to cancel my hotel room, but the links in the confirmation email expired and they haven't emailed me back about it. I'll have to call them. For the Clash? Yeah, your best bet's to call. Yeah. You gotta be demanded. So yeah, that's exciting that the vendor room is filling up. Real quick, we'll talk about the other Clash stuff. Volunteers, we do still need a couple more volunteers. The biggest needs are Friday, 4 and 5 o'clock hours for selling raffles and checking in people. Helping in the fish showroom at 11 o'clock. Could use someone to watch the vendor room 12 and 1. Saturday, helping with fish show removal at 8 and 9. And Sunday with breakdown. Could also use an auctioneer and some auction runners. Show class sponsorships. Um, 34 gouramis, 41 I-type goldfish, 46 Caradina shrimp hybrid, 47 all other shrimp, and 51 arts and crafts 2D. Everything else is sponsored. So we just need to get those last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those last 5. And I mean, we get those done, and I think we're set for the year. Adam says, I could be wrong, but from what I have watched of his videos on YouTube, I don't think George is as involved as he was in the beginning with Aquashella. Scotty say how amazing Karen Haas is. Yes, Karen sponsored so much stuff that she is now, I think, a silver. Did I get it? Maybe. Silver? Where? I'm looking. You know what? I don't think Jenna updated this yet. We'll wait till Monday. We need 5 more before Monday morning. Yep. Have you printed the badges yet? No. I'll do that Monday. Yeah, she's a silver. That's what I thought. Okay. No, I'm not blaming Jenna. She just hasn't gotten to it yet. She's busy. All of her individual class sponsorships. That's very nice of you. All right. Tomorrow, I work in the morning. Then I have to go to class storage and drop off a carload of stuff, and then play in D&D. Laura, where the heck have you been? I've been streaming for an hour talking about Aquashella. What the heck? Laura, you should go to the beginning and watch from the beginning on double time. Yeah, Laura, you guys all demanded we add those freaking shrimp classes, and now we're not getting sponsorships for them. You need to reach out to your shrimp people. I've been looking for streams, must just missed it. What the freak? Jeff Kane, welcome in, and thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. Yeah, Laura, you know what classes they are. The shrimp competition looked pretty cool today. I really like how they set that up, and they had some really nice freaking shrimp in there. There was one tank that always caught my eye of pure red lines. However, in talking to Tim, there was another tank that had higher grade because they had less red. I like the ones that had like a lot of white and a lot of red, like Candy King. But Tim said the ones that had the lesser red was better. There were many others, but really sharp looking shrimp in there. I did like them. Diane sponsored a shrimp class. Thank you. I saw a pic of some purple metallics there. I did not get to look at all of the shrimp. Again, a lot of people, but definitely some nice ones. Now you know why I don't win so many good ones. Yeah, a lot of good ones. It was impressive. I could not get close enough to the clown fish show. That would have been nice to see. A little different. And then I didn't really look at the others. I didn't try the other competitions. Aquascaping was packed. Couldn't get close to it. I saw someone live streaming and walked by them. Oh, really? It was packed. That's all there is to it. All right. I think we'll call it quits. Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes. I do appreciate it. And there we go. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Killer Kitty, for the super chat. Nancy from Tennessee, welcome in and thank you. Now everyone's talking. Welcome in, Alshon. Was there a YouTube booth? Yes, it was Carrie and Lefty, and not much going on there at all. Not much at all. It was like there just wasn't anything going on. That's where a person I saw was going crazy plant lady. Laura, I don't know what you're talking about. Just getting home from Fish Club meeting. What'd you get, Nancy? Oh, there's a cat under my feet now. Ow! Can't even put my own feet down at my desk. Oh, Father Fish's co-host. Okay. Gotcha. Nancy, what'd you get from the club? I think you guys usually have an auction there. Mel, welcome in and thank you. Appreciate it. Working and learning. Yep. Pittsburgh auction next weekend. Laura, where is there? Do they have an online auction page or anything? What do they got? Is there a promo code for sponsoring Scotty? To sponsor me? To sponsor the Clash? What are you talking about, Jeff? I got 2 30-gallon tanks with stands and a Gurami for free. 30-gallon. I think that's what that new tank I have is. I haven't set it up yet. Oh, the shrimp. Jenna, can you drop a link for Jeff, please? No online stuff. We tried talking them into it. Sunday, Monroeville. It's an all-day event. I won't be there. I wish Jeff would adopt me. He's a nice guy, Nancy. We'll give 60-second hugs to anyone that sponsors something before he ends this stream. Jenna is cooking my dinner. What is she making you, Steven? There she is. It as for a promo. The shrimp. Jeff, I'm not following you, buddy. Oh, Clashy. Not everyone agrees, Scotty, but I'm okay with that. I know, Jeff. I know. There is the link, Jeff, for sponsoring show classes or anything for that matter. But from that link, you can get to the shrimp class that needs to be sponsored. I can't believe Jesse got a booth at Aquashella. And it looked like, I think he moved as well from yesterday to today, or maybe the day before. Maybe his original spot and yesterday he moved. That's probably what it was. I think Cuboid moved today. The problem with where Jesse is he's on the very corner. And again, their layout sucked. But he still had plenty of people. He had plenty. And he had a lot of stuff as well. But again, it was so busy, I didn't even get to really talk to him to see how things were. Seared tuna. That's disgusting. Baked potatoes. They're good. And salad. Okay, that works. Dr. Ted's in. Welcome in, sir, and thank you. So very sweet of you. Frogs, are you sure you finished your sponsorship transaction? Row. Annette, I think I did see that. Um, I'm pretty sure I saw it in that. And it looks like Jeff did a sponsorship. Thank you, sir. There it is. Um, There's been so many lately, though, it's hard to find anything. Um, hmm. I can't find it now. There's just so many transactions on here right now. Oh, it was a long time ago. Okay. Awesome. Um, there we go, Jody. Jody's having steak. I made a steak last night. That was freaking delicious. I was so impressed with my cooking abilities last night. That steak was amazing. Um, if you love Scotty and wish to mock him incessantly at the Clash, oh, chat's jumping. Get your Emperor Scotty shirt now. Yep, I'll be doing that. Not now, but I will. Ted. Ted, you'll have to catch up from the beginning. I went to my first and probably only Aquashella today. Are you having dumplings for your birthday? No. Only one class left that I can see. That's for shrimp. There's more. There's other classes left. There should be, what, 5 left? 4, probably. There we go. Okay. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to buy all 3. 4 show classes left that he sponsored. Okay. Everything looked like it said sold out. It shouldn't. We'll have to check that. All right. I have now been going for over an hour. So thank you, Jeff, for your sponsorship. Thank you, Killer, for your super chat. Thank you for everyone for the birthday wishes. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate you all. And I think that is it. When am I streaming next? I guess that's a good question. Maybe Monday night. We'll see. I will not be streaming a Wednesday night stream until October. That I do know. So. All right. See ya. No outro because I'm not paying for StreamYard right now. Bye. Oh, wrong button. Let's try this one.